Give a shout out to Fran. He did an amazing seminar on the aerobic and anaerobic energy systems. We'll touch on that a little bit today, but we definitely won't go as in depth. So if you're interested in learning some more about that, go over and check out Fran's seminar. So regeneration is something that the trainers at NSA Mechanicsburg like to throw around. So I thought it would be important to share some knowledge on what it is, why it's important, and examples for you to implement into your own training programs. For those of you that do not know, I am Hattie Wilson, and I'm the fitness program director at NSA Mechanicsburg. So let's get started. I have this funny little picture here on this slide, and the top of it says, "No pain, no gain," right? I hope that we know that that is wrong. This is an old strength and conditioning mentality, mainly centered around the football demographic. Thankfully, with the extensive research that has been done on topics like overtraining, recovery, and the FIT principles, which are frequency, intensity, time, and type, we know that this is not the case. And we're going to talk about that a little bit today. So what is regeneration? If you were to Google regeneration, it would come up with this definition of an act or the process of regenerating, the state of being regenerated, renewal or restoration of a body, bodily part, or biological system after injury or as a normal process. I have this picture down here to try to explain it a little bit better. We have a newt. Okay, this newt was attacked by a bird and the bird took off the newt's tail. But over time, the newt is able to recover and restore his tail. So that is an example of regeneration. But you may be asking, Hattie, I'm not a newt. Why is regeneration important to me on my journey to better health? Well, because the body must have time to recover in order for it to perform at max capacity. Without recovery, your body is not able to make the desired adaptations that you are wanting. For example, if you are squatting extremely heavy because you are wanting bigger glute muscles, they will not have a chance to recover. Those muscles are not getting time to restore, so they're not repairing themselves, and actually you may cause atrophy in those muscles if this is the way that you are thinking. So to turn people away of that no pain, no gain mentality, I usually tell people you want to work, make sure you get your rest, then you'll see the adaptations, and that's when we're going to have our greatest success. The super sciencey stuff. So in order to compensate for the lack of oxygen during a training session, your body switches over to this anaerobic metabolism, which begins converting glucose, which is where we get our energy, into lactic acid. We're going to have microscopic tears as well during muscle exercises. So I'm going to zoom into this picture up here up top. So this is a muscle fiber. This first little circle here is a normal muscle fiber. That's just what it looks like before we start exercising. So once we exercise, this guy over here with the big biceps, let's say he's doing a bicep curl. While he's doing that bicep curl, he is actually going to have micro tears to the muscle cell. So you can see the fraying a little bit of the muscle fibers there. Once he gets time to recover, it's actually going to restore and thicken that muscle cell is. So you can see how thick these fibers are compared to the fibers at the beginning here of his bicep tendons. Okay. There is a fine line though between undertraining, optimal training, and overtraining. Overtraining occurs when you put a lot of physical stress on yourself and you don't give yourself time to recover. I'll just let you guys read over this here. Overtraining can actually result in imbalances to your hormones, such as cortisol, which is your stress hormone, testosterone, and your growth hormone. These imbalances can adversely affect your metabolism and muscle growth. So we definitely want to stay away from overtraining. And a way to do that is to make sure that we put in regeneration to our programs. Signs of overtraining: decreased performance, irritability, injury, elevated resting heart rate, lack of appetite, and excessive soreness. All things that we want to stay away from, which we can do so if we give ourselves optimal time to recover from our training sessions. How to regenerate. These are just examples. There's many ways, but one of the main ones that I want to make sure we touch on is sleep. I know us as adults definitely do not get as much sleep as we should. I can relate. I have a 10-month-old at home, but this is something that will help us recover from our training sessions. Rest days, active rest days, that could look like going for a walk, going to Zumba, Pilates, anything like that, where we're not putting as much stress on our body. Foam rolling, which we call SMR, which is self-myofascial release. It can help alleviate some of the muscle tightness and soreness, but definitely helps with inflammation. Stretching, and then making sure that we are fueling our bodies with the proper nutrition. It's not really recovery if the body isn't back to where it was or better than it was the day before. So if let's say we have a leg day, we're squatting, lunging, we take the next day off as an active rest day, but we go for a super hard hike. We come back for our training session and we're like, I'm not feeling it today. I just feel worse than I did before. You're going to need another rest day. You should not push yourself through that, because then you're going to go and you could possibly see some of the signs of overtraining then. Some examples of a regeneration session. I put in here one of the NOFS examples. Now this is a full body regeneration session. So they're doing some trigger points, which is just with those lacrosse balls where we're getting the arch of our foot. They're foam rolling out their hamstrings, stretching some. So that's an example. And then also examples, which people tend to not think about, are things like dancing, like I said, Pilates, yoga, walking. Those are also examples of regeneration. They're going to help you come back better than ever for your next training session. Trying to zoom out here. There we go. So I just have a few references down here of where I got the pictures, but if you guys are interested in adding regeneration to your training programs, you have questions about any of the seminars so far, please reach out to me. We are definitely happy to help you guys out, and we hope that you get something from one of these seminars. Thank you so much for tuning in. Goodbye.